Don't watch me, watch Nolazine TV. It's the best video ever and subscribe to it.
Hi, I'm Caly Pearse and you're tuning in to Nolazine TV.
Okay, so tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, born and raised.
Okay, so growing up in New Orleans, how was it like for you?
Growing up in New Orleans was a huge experience for me, honestly. I have loved being in the city. My dad has worked downtown all of his life, so I have had the pleasure of enjoying the food, the music, and everything to enjoy about New Orleans. So I have honestly loved growing up here. I'm going to college in Tulane next year, so I'll be in the heart of the city, and I'm so excited just to be in New Orleans and grow up even further here.
Going to college next year. So you was in high school?
I am. I graduated like 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a really exciting journey.
So you dropped your first, was that your first single?
Well, my first single was called Summer Sky, and we dropped that my summer that I was going into my senior year. So that was kind of crazy for me going into my senior year with like my first single, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, like you're a music artist now, and I'm like, yeah, I guess. So that was really awesome having to drop that. So we dropped Summer Sky, and then One You Won't Forget, and World View was my third single.
That's dope, because this is the easiest way to actually get one fan base when you're actually still in school.
Right, it's a huge fan base.
Then you about to go to Tulane, and like the
it's
mecca,
bigger.
like the mecca of New Orleans.
Right,
like you go to Tulane, you connected for life.
With everybody, yeah.
Okay, shout out Tulane.
I know, shout out Tulane, it's my favorite school in the world, so I'm so excited to be going there.
Okay.
It'll be awesome.
So, I'm gonna ask you this early before we get into the interview. Like,
right.
If your music career blossoms fast, do you plan on graduating Tulane?
Right now I'm just going with the flow. I've always wanted to go to Tulane my entire life. So like this is just kind of what was in the plan for me before I even started music. But you know, if it blows up, let's hope, let's pray it blows up. You know, you never know what's gonna be in the works for me or with school, but we're just taking it, day by day, so.
Dope, okay. So growing up, who influenced you for us to start making music?
Growing up, my sister definitely had a huge part in my musical journey. She was a singer as well, and she actually was on American Idol, which I didn't know until a couple years ago. So she was definitely a huge inspiration for me because she would sing around the house, and I would just want to be like her, so I would copy her and mimic her. She was a huge influence, and also some of my artists that I've loved is Harry Styles has influenced me from a very young age, and pop artists like Ariana Grande or Dua Lipa have just really influenced my style and my songwriting and just who I am as a music artist.
Okay. So tell the world, how did you actually come up with your name?
Come up with my name?
Yes.
My parents came up with my name,
oh,
Caly Pearse. Yeah, that's my real name.
Most artists change their name or change the last name.
Well, I don't have a stage name. It's just Caly Pearse. It's just who
you
I
represent
am.
that family
it's
name.
Personal, yeah. Shout out to my mom and dad. Thanks for the name. So, yeah.
That's funny. Shout out to my mom and dad.
Shout out to them.
You the first. Okay.
Right.
So, tell us, what's the average day like for you?
An average day, well, I was a high school student, so when I was in high school, I would wake up, go to school. I would probably, after school, I would drive over to my manager's house, Dino's house, or Alexa's house, my partner's house, and I would do music, or I would go on my guitar and write a song, or after school, it was really just music heavy. But now that I'm out of school, it's kind of every day I'm going to the studio, or I'm traveling to a show, or traveling to the studio, or wherever I'm going, and it's just really hectic. There's not ever a routine, if that makes sense. So every day I don't know what I'm doing. It's just an adventure every day.
Okay. So do you have any projects coming up?
I do. I'm actually releasing my next single called Favorite Summer on July 16th, and we're having a huge release party at a Prey, which is going to be so fun, and I'm really excited about that. It's actually produced by Storch, so that's really exciting for me and the team.
That was my next question. How did that even come about, you meeting Scott Storch and doing songs with him? Because he's a legend.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome. We just happened to be in LA, happened to meet him. It was surreal. The whole experience was crazy for me. So he just wanted to work with us. We obviously wanted to work with him. And so we got in the studio in Miami and We ended up making records together, and it was just like the most crazy experience of my entire life, like working with legends and like being in the studio with them, and then them like recognizing your talent as well as you recognizing their talents. It's just like crazy to think that these legends actually think like you're good. Does that make sense? It was crazy. It was honestly insane.
So I have a funny question for you.
Okay.
How old were you when you first heard Scott Storch record?
I was 18, so I'm 18 right now, and I was 18. Well,
So-
the first time that I heard like a song by him, I was probably like a child. You know what I mean?
That's what I meant.
He has like I didn't even know that he like had made some of the like the biggest song. I didn't even know that he was on those kinds of records. You know what I mean? Like
He made a
Ariana
strip club
Grande
anthem.
and-
He made a strip club anthem.
Like
Make it rain.
I didn't even know until I like really had like come across him and been like, wait, like this is like who did all of these like huge songs. I didn't even realize that until I like researched it. You know what I mean? Like actually like realize it clicked in my head. So that was like insane to just like see that was who I'm working with.
And it's kind of dope because like you just started becoming a music artist. You have this big producer ready to work with you already. So you feel like, damn, I'm on my way.
Right. It's only been a year, and we've really have done so much in this 1 year, and like it's been a crazy hectic journey, but it's been so proactive and so productive, and it's been crazy. I wouldn't trade it for the world, honestly.
Well, I gotta tell you, yesterday when I posted you, your response was crazy. Like so many people were asking, "Who are you?" I'm like, I never saw this girl in my life. So it made more sense when you just told me that you were you're just get out of high school,
right?
And you're going to college. Like I wouldn't know somebody that age,
right? I'm very young to do what I'm doing, but it's like honestly just the best time in my life for me to be doing this. So I'm happy that I'm doing it this early in my life.
So tell us what separates you from other artists.
I think what separates me from other artists is what I just said, like how young I am and how I'm able to connect with other people, and not just like girls that are my age, like 18-year-olds. I also have these people that connect with me that are like way older than me or like way younger than me. Like next week I'm going to perform at this like summer camp for like 5-year-olds. It's like crazy how everybody connects with me in a different way, and I have such like all my songs are kind of different. So like Summer Sky is kind of like EDM-ish, whatever. When You'll Forget, it's like a ballad and it's like personal, and then Worldview is like a rap like track. So it's honestly insane how all these different tracks can all come together and form me. So and make it like personal and relatable to everybody. So I think that's what makes me different from a lot of other artists.
If you go perform in front of a bunch of 5-year-olds, you're gonna have like a lot of TikTok videos.
Yeah.
And that's dope too.
Right.
A lot of TikTok videos. Okay, so being in the music industry for a whole year, tell us what do you enjoy most about being a music artist, and what do you hate most about being a music artist?
I think what I love the most is being able to express who I am to the world, if that makes sense. Like through my songwriting, I really am able to put my emotions into words, which is something that I can't really do like speaking. I can only like sing it out. Does that make sense? So that's probably one of the greatest things I like about what I do, and obviously like performing, and just like meeting people who call me an inspiration. Like I never thought that people would come up to me and be like, "You're an inspiration to me," and it's crazy to see people coming up to me and saying that to me, because I have so many inspirations that I would love to say that to, but people are coming up to me and saying that, which is crazy. And then I think the worst thing about what I do is kind of just like time. Like there's not enough time in the world for me to do everything, which sucks. But it's all about balancing my time, which is something that I struggle with. So that's probably the worst thing.
Okay. So in this past year, has there ever been one point in your music career, when you just wanted to give up?
Oh, many times. But you just have to push through, because at the end of the day, this is what I want to do with my entire life. And I just have wanted this for forever. And so every single day I'm like, okay, like this is what I want to do. Like, why am I even thinking like this? Like, I want to do this like forever. So it's just like, I just have to keep pushing through and like just believing in the team and believing in me. It's really has been a journey. So this is exactly what I want to do, and I would never give up.
Okay. So have you ever did any concerts before?
I actually did my first concert at Texas Ski Ranch. It was a couple days ago. It was in Austin, and it was so fun. It was incredible. We got so much footage. It was awesome just to like be upstage and like perform for everybody. It was awesome. Awesome experience for sure.
So what happened? You know, give us some details for your first.
Well, I was the opening act, so I went on and I went up singing a cappella at first, and the music joined in. I just like sang. I sung 3 songs. I actually sang the song that is going to be released on July 16th, which is my next single. That one, I sung When You Forget and Worldview, which is the newest one. So it was awesome just to be able to sing those 3 songs, get the crowd hype, and just leave. It was awesome.
Dope.
Yeah.
Well, I won't give you but your flowers early before you know, before your career just get the blossoming so fast, and everybody like, where the hell she went?
Yeah.
Like, she just gone.
It's gone out of there.
I got you. So, like growing up in like New Orleans and just meet other music artists, do you feel like New Orleans and Louisiana as a whole actually support each other as one music artist? Like
I think so.
Generation?
I think the music industry in New Orleans is very, very supportive. Like whenever I release Worldview, I feel like New Orleans community has really just like taken me in, like welcomed me into a whole different genre of music. So I feel like New Orleans music community is very welcoming in that sense.
Okay. So tell your fans something about you that you don't show on your social media.
I think something that I don't show on my social media is how like sensitive I am. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm a very sensitive person, and I don't really show that. I always show like the confident side of me, and like me being like, I don't know, like me being a music artist, you just have to put like a persona on that you're like gorgeous or whatever, or like, you know what I mean. But like I'm very like sensitive. I'm a very sensitive person, and I feel like I don't show that side of myself on social media. So yeah.
Well, speaking of being sensitive, how well do you take on the constructive criticism?
Constructive criticism, I would say I'm not very well at taking that, and I think the team knows that as well.
So you not really see all these people on social media talking negative about you.
I've only gotten positive things, so I don't know.
It starts off that way.
Right, I start off that, so I don't really know if I'm ready to get like the "you suck" comment. You know what I mean?
So you telling me if someone say you suck, you might tell them you suck back.
Probably might cry. It's okay.
Don't cry. It's gonna come with it.
You're right. It comes with the job. It's okay.
It definitely is. So, being this music artist that's growing very fast, do you feel like once your music career reaches a certain milestone, do you feel like you have to move from New Orleans, Louisiana?
I haven't really thought that far yet. Like obviously there are other opportunities in other states, like
you can always go to school online.
Right, I know. I could always. I feel like obviously LA and New York, like they have like huge music like connections and opportunities. At the same time, like New Orleans is like my hometown and I love it here. So I don't really know, honestly. It just have to be like a decision I had to make in the future, I guess.
Right. So, tell us, if you can date anyone in the music industry or entertainment industry, who would it be, and tell us why?
If I could date anyone in the music industry, I think I would, I don't even know. I mean, I'm like in love with Harry Styles. I'm obsessed with him. I've been obsessed with him ever since I was a little girl. Cause
this might come back on you.
I know. It might, so I have to think about what I'm going to say. No, I have loved him for forever. I just think he is an amazing artist. I think he's an amazing performer. And I feel like he's just a really genuine person himself. Like his motto is treat people with kindness. And he puts that all over his sweatshirts, all over his shirts. And I feel like that's kind of inspiring for me in a way, because a lot of artists don't really put that positivity in their music and in their lives, and that's something that me and the team especially really want to do with this music industry. We want to go out there and change the world for the better, not for the worse. So I think that Harry Styles really does an amazing job of doing that, and so I feel like that he would be my answer for sure.
Okay, well shout out Harry Styles.
I know, shout out Harry, love you.
So tell us, like what's next for you? Do you plan on dropping your own merch, like working with more artists that you don't want to say about yet? Give us a little exclusive.
Okay, so actually, me and my team have been creating a jewelry line for me called Star Love Jewelry, and we have earrings and bracelets, and it's so cute. I'm literally wearing some right now. They're so cute, and that's kind of what we've been doing recently. That's like a project that's really close to me and the team's hearts because I like love earrings, I love jewelry. So yeah, that's something that we have coming up. You can actually pre-order the packages on my website right now. So that's kind of what's coming up. And obviously the projects with Scott are coming up. Obviously one's releasing on July 16th, so that's really a step for the team as well. And that's really all we have coming up. We're just working on getting in the studio all the time, working on music and just like really settling in and like working towards the future.
Okay. So starting having a whole year. So that means you actually came out making music during the pandemic.
Yes.
So how was that like? Like the world was shut down and you come out with music. Like how was the response?
I think the response was very good because the world was kind of in a state of like panic and people were like isolating themselves, and so for me, a New Orleans girl, to come out with music was kind of like, oh, like the world's actually like spinning, you know what I mean? Like I feel like the response was very well because people weren't getting what they wanted in a sense, and so when I came out with the music, everyone was like, wait, like she's doing something, like I can do that too, you know what I mean? So the response was very, very well, very good. So
you graduated last year?
I graduated 2 months ago.
Okay, so how was virtual school?
I actually never went to virtual school.
Okay.
Never, because I went to Mount Carmel Academy, and in August I went back to school normal. I mean, I had masks obviously, but I never went to online school. I went in person every single day since August until I graduated, which was we were the only school to do that in New Orleans, so I feel very blessed and it feels very special to be able to spend all of my last senior year with my entire class every single day at school.
Wasn't that weird, like going through like the hallway, seeing people with masks on? Because I don't notice people with masks on, right. So people speak to me, they were like, take the mask out a little bit.
It was very, very, very weird. It was very weird. But I mean, as the months went by, it went to the new normal. Does that make sense? So like, I would see people in the hallway and I wouldn't even like budge. Like I would be like, yeah, it's just normal now. So it kind of sucked how it got normal, but now everything's like kind of going back to the way it was before, so it's okay.
Oh, so how your response was in high school? Like, even though people have a mask, like, did you have any fans running up to you on autographs during class and everything like that?
Well, during class, not really, because I mean, like, I had been going to high school with these people for like 5 years, but like the underclassmen, I actually did have some fans in the underclassmen. As weird as it sounds, like I would walk through the hallways and be like, oh my god, that's Caly Pearse. And I was like, I'm just like a regular high school student, like don't worry. And I would like go to like after school things or whatever, and people would look at me and be like, oh my god, that's her. And I'm like, I'm just normal. I'm not anything, big or whatever. So it was crazy to have like underclassmen that I've been going to school with for 5 years being like, okay, like she's actually something, it was insane.
Like just imagine being a star,
right?
And you get in trouble and the principal called Caly Pearse to the office and everybody looking out the window to see you
Everyone's
walk
like,
through.
oh no, where's she going? Right.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was insane.
Okay. So do you have any like shout outs like for anyone like before we wrap this thing up?
Obviously, shout out to Nolazine TV for letting us do this. Shout out to
the Loyalty Club.
The Loyalty Club, for sure, for letting us have it here. It's been amazing. Shout out to the team for supporting me, doing everything. Shout out to Lexicon Records and Peak Media Holding Group, part of the team. And I think that's all the shout outs I need to make, right? Yay!
Okay, well, with that being said, last but not least, tell everyone where can they find you at on social media and just other music platforms.
You can find me on every social media platform on @Caly Pearse, CalyPearse, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, on YouTube, on Spotify. Everything is just Caly Pearse, so that's where you can find me. And my website is www.calypearse.com.
And we done.
All right, thank you.
Nolazine, make them scream. Nolazine. Make them SCREAM. Scream. Nolazine, make them scream. You heard me.